Hello guys and welcome to the next installment of Introduction to That. So we are just going to explore or touch on nested if else statements and probably add nested loops. Okay, so nested if else blocks. Just putting an if statement inside an if statement is what we term as nested if else. So we are just nesting them. So one if statement in another if statement. Okay, so I can say bool is true because maybe false. Then I can say int age equals maybe 21. So I can say if age is greater than 18, then if is true, then we want to print this is passed. So I can change this to true so that it becomes a true statement, so we get this, right? Else we want to print something. So in the else statement you can add another if statement, so you can say if then is true or something different, whole thing together. So you can say if say 18 is strictly equal to maybe 12, or let me say 18 again, then just print the code goes on. Okay, so you can nest the if statements in any manner of speaking that works for you, but then you have to be careful how you nest them. Putting ifs in ifs to check your conditions really matter, because you don't want to end up with a buggy production app. Okay, so if I run this, I should get this line of code, which is this is passed. So if I change one of these conditions, say I change this to false, this if condition is going to pass, okay, but this is not going to pass, so we are not going to get anything. So I can add an else statement for the outer block and just print this is not passed. Okay, so I can do, say, if I run this program now, this is the code goes on. Okay, that's because age is greater than 18, but it's true is not true, it's actually false, so it bypasses this line of code and then gets to the else statement, and 18 is equal to 18, so it says the code goes on. Okay, so if I change this to like 11 and run the code, I get this is not passed, which is this else statement, because obviously age is not greater than 18 and it's true is not equal to false. So this can be true and this will be false, and then it will execute these lines of code. But then I can make this say 21, and then this will be false. So it's just going to, when this is false and there's no else statement, it's just going to exit, meaning if I cut out these lines of code around the program, I'm not getting any outputs. This is because there's nothing to run, because this code is not true. This is not returning true. Although this is true, this is not true. So it's not going to execute this line of code. Okay, so that's a nested if else statements. I'm going to comment them out. Then we look at nested for loop. So nested for loop. Okay, so we can say for this is also the same thing for a for loop in a for loop. So we can say for int I equals 0, I less than say 10, then say I plus plus. So we can add another for loop. So for int j equals 0, j less than I, and we do a j plus plus. Okay, so instead of just saying less than I can say less than 10 something. Let me reduce the numbers so it would not. So let me use 3 and 2. Okay, so this line of code is going to execute. So outer loop. So this should execute 3 times, but it should only execute 3 times when this has been executed the next time. So we get inner loop. So when we run this program, we get outer loop, inner loop, inner loop, outer loop, and inner loop, inner loop, outer loop, inner loop, inner loop. Now the reason is whenever this runs once, so I is 0, which is less than 3, then it will execute this line of code and execute this line of code as well. But this line of code or lines of code is also a for loop which must execute 2 times. Okay, it must not be greater than 2. Okay, so this would execute 2 times before it exits and then compares I, increase I, and compare I again. So each time the outer loop runs once, the inner loop runs twice. So that's what you need to know when you nest for loops. Okay, that's one thing you should know. Okay, so that is the basic concept of nesting for loops. Maybe in our upcoming videos, we'll use nested for loops, nested ifs to do something useful so you actually have a feel of how it's actually used in real life examples and other stuff. So until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Again, all the codes for this program should be available on my GitHub page. I will leave a link in the description below. Be sure to check it out if you are stuck somewhere. Alright, see you in another video. Thank you.